These are the sweet peas I sowed at the back end of winter. I put them in pots, cheek bajal, kept them watered, and when they came up I put them just outside the house in a sheltered spot to grow on. You see, sweet peas are hardy. They just need protection from the worst of the weather. And now they're ready for planting. Actually, if anything, I'd say that's a little bit beyond ready. But that's no bad thing, because sweet peas are dead easy to take cuttings of, and this extra material on here will form a second flush of flowers later in the summer than the first, and a backup crop should slugs get the first lot that are in the ground, and there's no guarantee that that won't happen. What you do is you look over the plant for these thicker sections. Now sweet peas are peculiar because when they start off out of the ground they're quite thin and reedy, but as they reach up towards the light they get quite plump, and it's these plump ends that root best. You count down, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 inches down, pinch it off just above a bud. See that? And then pinch it again just below a bud. Whip off the leaves. Oh, it's not complex. Get rid of them just to leave the tops. Any tendrils, adios those as well. And then make a hole in a nice big pot of compost and stick a load of them in, bury in at least 2 of the buds so the tops just stick out like that. If you don't have sharp nails, use secateurs. Then when you've got a pot full, take them somewhere sheltered. Greenhouse or porch is ideal. Give them a good water and then cover them over with a bit of plastic to lock in the moisture. I use these cloches, but a plastic bag will do just as well. In shelter and shade, they'll be rooted within a week and ready for planting in a few. In the meantime, you get the parent plants in the ground. Now they need a support. Now I had this one made from metal. I designed it myself. I know, get me. But a few sticks will do, yeah? But there are a couple of tips to remember when getting your sweet peas in the ground that make all the difference to how successful they are during the summer. First thing, get plenty of compost in the ground. Sweet peas, they like to be moist in summer, and this stuff will hold that moisture around their roots. If they dry out, they go to seed really quickly. Second, dig a big hole. If you've got pot grown plants like this, you want them to be buried, I don't know, 1 or 2 inches up their stems, because they'll root there and it'll make for thicker, bonnier plants, and the thicker the plants, the thicker the clump, the more flowers you get. See that? Nice and deep. And the third thing is, you notice I've put that under the support. That's so the stems can climb up it immediately. If they're flopping around on the floor like that, they use up a lot of energy and they never reach for the light. They need something to climb on. They need to be touching something that they can head up towards the sky. And that's why I planted my sweet pea underneath this support. If you don't have that, perhaps you've got sticks going up, use some small ones like that, stuffed in next to the plant, just to corral those stems and ensure they're touching that support, and then they'll romp away in no time. And finally, water in. And keep an eye out for slugs and snails.